Hello, everyone, and this is a special Memorial Day edition of Behind the Ropes Media, and I'm joined by these wonderful fellas. I know I look like the Undertaker with this lighting here, and below me we have Hey Yo Vince, looking like Elias, nice and sexy. We have the technician for his first time on Behind the Ropes Media, and of
What's up,
course
guys?
the one and only the executive consultant. And I just want to pay my respect today for all the dying soldiers and these people that put their lives on the line. Happy Memorial Day to you guys. Hope you were able to spend some time with your loved ones, and if you have lost anyone in the service, my condolences go to you.
We'll give him the bell salute.
Awesome,
We are
awesome.
aware
All right, well,
it's technically Labor Day, not Memorial Day, right? There's a difference.
is today Labor Day?
Today is
Yes,
Labor Day.
today
Memorial
is
Day
Labor Day, Jay.
So Labor
Always
Day
gotta do that.
is a celebration for all the workers. Memorial Day is a celebration for all our heroes who have fought for this country and everything else. But you know what? We always want to celebrate them, so we can't say anything negative about the tomfoolery that you. Okay. Yeah, so this segment's dead. All right, let's go on with the show. Let's go on with the show.
I completely just messed that up. Awesome. All
That
right.
is true.
Well,
Hey,
it sounded good though. So
Hey, real quick.
yeah, Memorial
Yeah,
Day is
real
in May, isn't it? Oh
hey,
my
real
God.
quick. I gotta tell you something real quick. You know what? You know what you just did?
What?
She said you just made the list.
You just made the list.
You just made the list.
The sound effects.
I
man.
definitely made the list. I think Jericho made his own list over the weekend as well.
You know what? I don't know why
but-
he's saying that you made the list when this man surely rang the bells like it was a 10-bell salute. So he was agreeing with you that was Memorial Day. So both y'all should he just made his own list as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, go ahead.
Hey,
All right.
Chris.
Yes.
Come on, you gotta love Jericho. Don't
right,
you
guys.
guys love Jericho?
I mean, Jericho's pretty good. I mean,
I do.
as far as Jericho goes, I think his best runs were one in 2017, and especially right now, or actually not right now when he was the AEW World Champion. I think those were his two best runs. Because think about it, he went on to his own cruise on a show that he is champion on. Wait, where am I getting at with this? Goddamn.
A lot of stuttering.
Yeah. No, we definitely get you, technician.
And no,
We agree with you.
Okay.
Technician.
No, Jericho was champion on his own cruise, on his own show. You get what I mean.
Listen, you know what you need?
I don't get what
All right.
you mean.
All right, technician. We're gonna
Okay.
cut you off there. We're gonna cut you off, technician, because we just got a Nico in here. So
Nico,
hello,
how you
Nico.
doing? Nico, how you doing at this Memorial Day?
Labor Day, my man. It's a good day.
I thought so too. You know? But then we're over here doing bell salutes, so I didn't know if it was Memorial Day or Labor Day. So thank you for clearing that up.
Labor Day. What's going on?
All right,
Look
let
at
me
this.
jump into
little
these
mystical
guys.
stuff in here.
Yeah, we got a special guest. We got Vince looking like Elias, and my shitty ass stream. I look like Undertaker right now, and he's coming out. We got a bunch of cool guys in here. So let's talk about something cool. Will Riddle be the WWE champ by next WrestleMania? Matthew Riddle, the Stallion Battalion. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about Riddle? I know we personally hang out with Matt Riddle. Put that to the side. Let's look at his in-ring, what's been going on, the storylines. Do you see him being WWE champion by next WrestleMania? Let's start off with the executive consultant, or Vince. Go ahead, Vince.
No, I was just gonna say I see him holding the belt, some kind of belt. I'm not, but I see him holding something. Maybe the Intercontinental, maybe the U.S. title, maybe even a tag team. I don't see him holding the heavyweight right away.
Got you. Nico.
Yeah, I don't think his time is between now and WrestleMania 37. I see Roman pretty much carrying the belt all the way to WrestleMania. I see The Fiend becoming the new face of SmackDown. And, you know, I mean, with Baron Corbin, there's just so many names there that I just don't see him. I see him maybe getting a title shot at Roman at a pay-per-view or something like that, but some bullshit will go down and he'll end up losing at the end of the day.
Got you. Technician, you're supposed to be building this guy a computer you haven't started. What do you think? You think you're going to have it done by WrestleMania? Is he going to be champ then?
I don't think he's going to be a world heavyweight champion. I think that might be a little too soon to talk about. I think we would be looking more along the lines of a mid-card title, maybe the IC title, or if he gets thrown onto Raw, then maybe the US title. So we'll see.
Consultant.
All right, so here's the deal. One, you have to look at what brand he's on. He's on the SmackDown brand, right? So you have to look at your champions, your single champions. Single champions right now are Roman Reigns as well as Jeff Hardy. Likely, if he holds the championship before WrestleMania, it's not going to be the World Championship, Universal Championship, because that is being held by the big dog Roman Reigns. Just came back, just got a huge push. They're over there. They're giving them head. They're letting them know you can have anything you want. You want to turn heel, you can turn heel. You want Paul Heyman, you can have Paul Heyman. You want to have a main event match against your cousin who has not seen a pay-per-view match in almost a year, you're gonna have it. So they're giving him anything he wants. Matt Riddle's not taking the championship away from him. It's just not going to happen. Matt Riddle's best bet, and I told him this personally, I think a lot of y'all were there, his best bet is to win the Royal Rumble and then face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Then he could possibly see a World Championship match sometime in the timetable that you said. Other than that, his best bet is going after the Intercontinental Championship, because I don't see him switching brands, going after the Intercontinental Championship, but that's not the way I would book him, but do not be surprised if around Royal Rumble he is thrown into that mix, because right now SmackDown's missing a top babyface. Their biggest babyface right now, unless you count The Fiend, who is rumored to have turned into a babyface, which I think would be a horrible idea, is possibly Jeff Hardy, possibly Big E, who they're building up, and then possibly Matt Riddle. So right now, the forerunners for winning the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, or however they're going to do it to face Roman Reigns, is possibly Big E or Matt Riddle. Either one of those two I would be happy with. I think Big E is very much due, and I think Matt Riddle is a future star.
Awesome. All right.
And let me
you
just real quick. I
like.
do think, like, he brought up something interesting, the Royal Rumble, and you know, Matt Riddle, he does need to win the Royal Rumble for his key to a title, because him clean winning it at, you know, Starrcade or some shit, it's just not going to happen that way. So and I see
Starrcade.
Either Big E, you know what I mean, like a pay-per-view, one of the pay-per-views.
Why'd you bring a Starrcade?
Because it's a pay-per-view usually in December, right? So you know what I mean.
No, that's a live event.
Oh, shut
It
up.
is a live event that they show on WWE Network, but
and they have title matches during it. Yeah,
they do, but nothing ever changes. So you're talking more TLC.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are the pay-per-views in between now and WrestleMania. But the reality is that if Big E doesn't win it, there's a good chance Riddle could win it and then potentially be the guy facing. I mean, but that's the main event. That's making it all the way to the top if you get that kind of push. So
Right.
it's really wishful thinking for all of our fans.
I mean, I just think he's one of the only real wrestlers, and the fans love him. So that timetable to me is WrestleMania, but you know, I could be completely wrong about that. I'm pretty wrong about a lot of things, so who knows? All right,
Yeah,
so let's move on from that. We were
Like today's Labor Day.
yeah, correct. So WWE's I feel like it's ruining the Fiend. He's too good to mess up. He's lost twice. Is the Fiend's character being jeopardized at this point, Vince?
I think right now, with the way the Fiend's going, I think what happened to him this past, or actually no, 2 weeks ago at Payback, when he lost that quick to Roman Reigns, and the way the match went out, I can see that he's going to be turning babyface. But you know what, though? you could argue this back and forth because his character switches from babyface to heel all the time. Because when he's on the show, he's happy, he's dedicated to the kids, or doing some kind of like, I look at it as like a Steve Blue's Clues kind of thing on Nickelodeon is what I look at that as. Like, it's just, to me, it's just fucking silly. I mean, like, I know people love it, but it's just silly. I mean, you're putting a grown man into a house made of cardboard and some stupid puppets, and why don't we just start bringing back like Mr. Rogers with the trolleys and the king puppet and stuff like that. I mean, that's just what it is. But I think they've already screwed the Fiend, and it's just a matter of time until he turns babyface.
I like it. Nico.
Sorry, I was being mad. I don't think his character's tarnished at all. I think it's unfortunate that he only kept the belt for 7 days. Obviously, that's he wasn't. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand why he needed to win. I think Roman should have just interfered in the match between him and Braun, like he did at the end. Anyways, he should have just interfered during it, canceled it, and then had Roman beat Braun to win the title. But for some reason, they gave it to him for 7 days, and it is what it is. But he's bigger than life. He doesn't need the championship at this point. He's such a unique, interesting character right now that he's going to, and I don't think his character's tarnished at all. I think he's still being pushed to the moon and potentially the top babyface in SmackDown eventually.
I definitely can see that. Consultant.
It's horrible. And what I mean by when I say it's horrible, I mean, why in the world? The Fiend is not a babyface. He shouldn't be a babyface. That's not for him. I completely agree with Nico when he says that he doesn't really need a belt right now. You're right. He's a huge star right now. He does not need it. And I've always thought Bray Wyatt was a huge star. Bray Wyatt is the only person that's come out in the last 7 to 8 years, in my opinion, who, if they came out with the older wrestler, you know how they used to say dream matches, and dream matches are pretty much dead. But if Stone Cold Steve Austin came out and stood face to face in this prime with Bray Wyatt, I'll be like, ooh, dream match. Shawn Michaels, The Rock, any of these people. Rock came out on a WrestleMania 32, I believe, instead of himself. The man has it all, right? He doesn't need it. Bray Wyatt can be a baby face. The Fiend is not a baby face. The Fiend needs to remain a heel because it's his fear factor that makes him relevant. It is not the Undertaker type of fear. It's the new face of fear. The quote from Bray Wyatt from WrestleMania 31. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not completely wrong because they might show me something different and I want to see it. But in the meantime, in the interim, I just don't see it right now. I think it's a terrible move to turn the Fiend as a babyface. He should be a heel. He should be a special attraction heel, and that's it. But unfortunately, because he was getting cheered, coronavirus cheered, and Braun Strowman was not getting the reaction they wanted to see, they went on and made that double turn.
Got you. Technician, are you scared he's going to come out your closet, or since he's lost, you could care less now? What's going on with the Fiend?
I think this I liked the Fiend at first, and then I'm not gonna lie, Hell in a Cell really just did it for me. I was like, okay, I really don't care for this anymore. After that, I lost complete interest in the Fiend. I didn't care for him every time he came out. Chris knows me, I clap all the time, but like every time he comes out for an entrance, it's just a blank reaction for
just
me.
Silence.
I just feel like it's just like the gimmick's dead in the water. I honestly would like the Fiend to go back to the Eater Worlds. That's how dead in the water I think the gimmick is, in my opinion. Because, well, I mean, the one good thing that does come out of this is that everyone who faces the Fiend is changed in some way. I think that is cool. Because you think about it. When Seth Rollins faced the Fiend, he went from face to heel. Braun Strowman faced the Fiend. He went from face to heel. Alexa Bliss had an interaction with the Fiend. Face to somewhat heel. She's starting to show her heelish shot again. So I mean, whoever faces him has changed in some way or another. So that's the only good thing I think the Fiend has going.
No, I agree with you.
But besides that, I really like. What's the point? It's boring to watch. I'd honestly rather have the old Bray Wyatt back. Like I get it, the old Bray Wyatt was getting old, but the change was good. But the change is dead in the water.
I can tell you somebody he faced that did not change.
Who?
Goldberg. Goldberg beat him and did not change at all.
True. Well,
everybody else did, from Finn Balor to Alexa Bliss to a certain extent. Yeah, has changed.
Yeah, the only I didn't realize. Yeah,
but the thing is, if Alexa Bliss turned heel, she looks like she's turning heel, and possibly is the newest member of the Firefly Funhouse. We don't know. So if she turns heel, is Fiend really going to be a babyface? You know, those are questions you have to ask yourself, and those are questions that will get answered sometime in the next few weeks on SmackDown.
Good. You know, and this is why I ask about him because, you know, some people do feel like the technician and feel like he has been tarnished since losing. So,
do you?
We'll
Technician also said that he gets quiet when the Fiend comes out. Do you think it's the same kind of quiet reaction as when Ricochet comes out? Or I'm just asking a question because when Ricochet comes out, it's pretty quiet, whether it's coronavirus or not. So
that's not necessarily true. He always gets some form of small.
No, it's true, David. No, if you're in the building, yes, he gets a small pop. I'll give you that.
That is funny, guys. I want to talk about someone who I probably have not appreciated as much in the wrestling industry in the past few years. Who I've kind of thrown his name around there. Is Brock
I'm so glad
Lesnar.
You mentioned it. You know, he runs the USA Splash show. So I'm glad you're finally giving The Miz the recognition that he deserves. Because he's a former world champion, former Intercontinental champion, United States champion, tag team champion, Money in the Bank winner. I mean, this man's resume is as long as David's closet over there. So you just got to give him all the credit in the world. You know, just great. Just great. Matter of fact, look at the back of Nico's wall. You see titles, right? Miz rivals that background. That's just how good he is. So thank you for finally bringing him up. Go ahead and ask your question about the Miz. I'll happily answer that.
Hey, I like the Miz. That's for another question there. But Brock Lesnar, is he trying to retire from WWE? What's going on with Brock Lesnar, Vince? Is Brock leaving us? If so, I think I will be somewhat sad. I think I will be not to have a legend. I don't know if we have that many legends left on the main roster, besides Randy Orton and Edge right now. But Brock Lesnar and Miz, right? And Miz. But is Lesnar is he retiring from WWE? What do you think, Vince?
I wouldn't even consider Lesnar a legend. He might be a legend in his own mind, but he's not a legend. He's not. Listen, and if he makes the Hall of Fame, it's on a bullshit limb, and I hope they put him in a celebrity wing, because he's not a wrestler. He's not a wrestler. He's not a wrestler.
Okay, this is the one time.
He's not done. Let him finish.
He's not. Listen, hold on. How can you make a guy that has 3 moves in his folder, 3 moves, and he uses one almost over and over and over and over again to the guy can't even stand anymore? Really? And
Roman Reigns.
What do you mean Roman Reigns? He don't do spears over and over and over and over again. Not in a row.
He does Superman punches over and over and over and over.
That's not every match. That's not every match. And hold on.
Excuse me. Can you name 5 Hulk Hogan moves?
No, I can name 2 Hulk Hogan moves. No, I can name 3 Hulk Hogan moves.
Okay, so what's the difference?
The difference is, am I sad that I won't want to see him again? No, I'm glad I won't see him again.
You said personal. That's what you said. Because the facts is Brock Lesnar is a legend. He's a surefire Hall of Famer, first ballot, no question. 7-time world champion, former Royal Rumble winner.
Wait, legend in what? A legend in what mind? You totally ruined the Undertaker's career. You ruined the Undertaker's career by making this goon beat him.
His career was ruined.
Not true.
His career was ruined. His career was ruined.
Listen, I would have never put Brock Lesnar over on Taker, ever. Never in a million years.
Okay.
That should never happen.
I agree with Vince. I agree with Vince.
Should
Can I-
never happen.
Can I chime in?
I'm interested in hearing Nico Extra's opinion on this. Before you go, technician, let me hear Nico Extra because I gotta hear it.
What, Brock Lesnar? I mean, yeah, Brock Lesnar's the thing about Brock Lesnar is that he was able to cross over to the UFC and become the UFC World Heavyweight Champion. And that's something that no one's ever going to be able to take away from him, because what he did was he made professional wrestling actually look tough. And that's something very hard to do, especially in the world of UFC, because when CM Punk and all these guys are coming over, they're actually considering them to be clowns and a joke. He came over, and not only did he win, he beat Randy Couture, questionably one of the best UFC fighters of all time. So his move there was actually bigger than wrestling itself in a certain way. So when he comes back, granted, he couldn't survive there due to diverticulitis and had to pull out, but his comeback to wrestling was actually pretty monumental at the end of the day. And I don't care what anyone says, he moves the needle in ratings. And it's proven throughout the years that if Brock Lesnar's involved, you're going to get better ratings than when Brock Lesnar's not involved. So,
which is really sad, because the man can't sell a bag of beans to you hit him with a chair, and what does he do? He does this.
He hasn't had a good match in a long time.
I mean, dude, come on.
His last good match was Royal Rumble 2019.
It was horrible. It was horrible. Listen, the consultant. You cannot sit here and say that the man can sell, because the man, like I said, he cannot sell a bag of beans.
Actually, no. His match
That
was
is not-
2009 last
true.
year.
Very
not
true.
bad.
Yeah. Well, wait. If I can, I'd really like to chime in here.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. Sean.
As much
We know you
Chris
do.
is-
We know you do.
Chris and Jay have heard me talk so much smack about Brock Lesnar and how I hated him, but you cannot go out and say that he's not a legend and that he shouldn't have broke the Undertaker streak.
Never.
Because I think the right move, if you're going to have someone break Undertaker's streak, because it was going to happen eventually. It was going to happen. It almost happened 5 times before that. Brock Lesnar.
Argument.
Okay, I know, but I'm saying Brock Lesnar is the only man who I think is fit for the position to beat the Undertaker, and here's why. Brock Lesnar. Who else is going to beat the Undertaker? Edge.
I thought Bray Wyatt should have been in person to beat it. I thought Randy Orton should have been in person to beat it. Now, don't grab me. I'm not disagreeing with you that it should have been Brock Lesnar. I was shocked. I was actually upset. In hindsight, I think it was a good move. I do think it was a good move. I think it was believable. I was shocked. I mean, I was just like that other guy. He had his mouth open. The crowd, 80,000 people, and the crowd was silent, right? You never heard that in a wrestling event. You could hear a pin drop, like, what the heck just happened? But as shocked as I was, you cannot sit here and say that it was not believable. At Undertaker's stage of his career, because it was in the twilight, which he's been in a while, Brock Lesnar, and he's facing Brock Lesnar, it's very believable that the Beast, who was so dominant at the time, could defeat the Undertaker.
Right, and you can't. You really can't say that he hasn't had a legendary career, nonetheless. Even if the runs with the world title may have not been the best, they were definitely notable, at least, because he's had some notable title defenses. But you can't forget everything he did before he left WWE the first time. He's also 7-time world champion, 1-time Royal Rumble winner. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to.
Former King of the Ring winner. He won his first world title in his first year. He main evented WrestleMania in his first year. He main evented SummerSlam in his first year. Did I mention he's a former King of the Ring? He never won the tag titles. He never won a mid card title. The man has main evented so many SummerSlams.
Can I tell you why?
Sure, Vince.
Can I tell you why?
Sure, Vince. Tell me why.
It's all about money.
Because he puts butts in seats. So yeah, he's a legend. Well, I just told you about Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was on top for so long. You know why? Because he puts butts in seats. Brock Lesnar, you put Brock Lesnar's name on a marquee, it sells seats.
Let me just say this.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. Let me close by saying this. And it's not going to happen. If AEW went out and got money, TNT money, and paid Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar showed up at AEW, game changer. Guaranteed.
I will say that I agree with Chris on that. Because, if I see Brock Lesnar on a card, no matter if I hate him or like him, I'm going.
That's most people.
Yeah.
We go to Full Sail. The 5 of us went to Full Sail. How many times Brock Lesnar showed up at Full Sail University? You going?
Or you're going to watch Shannon Moore main event against fucking Leo Rush. Who are you kidding?
I'm not going for that.
Hey, don't hit on Shannon Moore. He's not that bad.
You know what I mean, though.
I would go for Shannon Moore or Leo Rush.
If Brock Lesnar was at any pavilion, we would all be there.
He can't collect, bro.
That's real. He's right.
And real quick, so we have the Undertaker up on the subject here, and I'm not trying to offend anybody on the show, but I'm going to tell you one thing and one thing only that I think the Undertaker did and WWE did that I think tarnished Taker's name is the fact that you make him lose to Brock Lesnar, okay?
Look at you.
Then you make him lose to Roman Reigns. The man puts his gloves in the middle of the ring, his hat and his whatever. He walks away. Then what happens? The next year he's back. What kind of fucking baloney is that? I mean, that's like putting bologna, mayonnaise, and some lettuce on a fucking sandwich and calling it a hoagie. Come on. That's fucking ridiculous.
So can we direct that question to somebody? Can we direct that question to Jay?
Then the fucking man, the last match the man has is in a tag team match with Roman Reigns on a pay-per-view. Come on, man.
That's not true.
Vince,
That's not true.
Vince.
The last match that he
Vince,
had.
I got a question. Vince,
Wait. Oh yeah. No. You're right. You are right.
Yeah, that is the last match.
Oh wait,
Vince, I have a
no,
question
it's not.
for you.
Are you forgetting all about the
He doesn't count that. He's not counting that. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay.
Vince, you're a business owner, right? So have you ever had an employee leave, right? Quit, whatever the case may be, get emotional or whatever it is, and then ask to come back, or maybe you thought he was a good employee, so you continuously, not continuously, but you called him back, hey, would you like your job back? Or you don't think that was that's been the case? You don't think that's been the case for Undertaker, being a main attraction for so long, and a lot to do with his seniority and his age, that he continues to come back for a once a year event or twice a year, whatever the case may be. I'm fine with it, Vince. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it. But
do it the right
I
way.
think it's fine that he comes back.
I'm saying doing it the right way because you listen. It's like Ric Flair. Okay, Ric Flair had his last match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 24 in Orlando, and what happens? The motherfucker turns around 3 months later and goes on TNA, and he's fighting Mick Foley and Sting and all these freaking has-beens. Where's he retiring?
It's hard to argue this. He has a very valid point right now.
Where is he retiring at? These guys don't retire.
Small statement. One, it wasn't.
Nico, is this true? Nico, is this true?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame when someone retires and then you see him a week later bleeding against Hulk Hogan on TNA. It's like, it's a joke.
A year and a half.
Retirement should mean something, but to people like Ric Flair and Terry Funk, I saw Terry Funk retire in 1999 against Steve Corino in a barbed wire match at Roxy nightclub, and he's still wrestling last year, at least. I don't know if he's this year anymore because of Corona, but motherfuckers don't quit when they need to be. Sorry about the language there.
True. So Vince, is Brock retiring?
No, I don't think he's retiring.
Oh, that was the original question, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot.
I don't think he's retiring. I do hope I see him in AEW. I really do. I hope he jumps ship.
What?
That I really do. I hope he
Wait a
jumps
minute.
ship. And if he does, I'm slapping all of you in the face.
Why are you gonna slap? Wait a minute. Hold on.
I don't understand why you just slap anybody in the face, because nobody sat here and said anything against what you were saying. The only thing we disagree with was you said that he's not a legend. And
then you just went on a tirade how he's not a legend. He's not a taker. And then you're like, oh, if he goes to AEW, I'm gonna go pay money to see him.
No, hold on.
You also acted like he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, and he is no clout to be a Hall of Famer.
Correct. I did not say I was gonna go pay money. The reason why I would be happy is because I feel like WWE needs a taste of their own medicine. They want to sit here and they want to steal ideas and steal people and creativity.
What?
Let them get something stolen from them and see how they feel. You can't sit here and say that, dude.
What did WWE steal?
Oh, come on, dude. Really, dude? Come on. Really?
What did WWE steal?
Oh, my God. If I sat here and told you a long list, I would have.
I don't want a long list. Just name two things.
Well, I'll tell you
It's
this
like
right now.
Mickey Mouse going to Universal Studios. That's
I'll tell you this right now.
everyone is going to go to Universal Studios.
I'm
Disney
not going to
World
say
gets more money. Disney World gets more visitors. Don't do that.
this.
Name two things WWE stole and from who?
Can you let me talk?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
I'm going to tell you this. This is an example. It's not stolen, but I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to tell you how much WWE needs to steal ideas and bring back old ideas for them to stay alive. How many WCW events have they brought back? How many? Name them. They tried.
Clash of the Champions is coming up. Clash of the Champions is coming up in a couple weeks.
There's one.
We just did Great American Bash. That's another one. They also had Starrcade, as Nico mentioned.
That's three.
I mean, they War Games is also WCW thing. So what does that mean?
Here's my question. If WWE had such great ideas, why do they have to fish for other people's ideas?
I'm sorry, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, the TLC match. WWE has a lot of ideas.
Money in the Bank match.
If they own the product and they recognize it's something good that people clamor for, people still always talk about, hey, why don't they bring back Halloween Havoc? Last night, Jay was talking about World War III. I don't think that's a stolen idea. I think it's like, hey, we own it. People are interested in it. Let's go ahead and do it. I don't get it. I don't get what you're saying.
I feel like the only reason why WCW got bought out by WWE was for the fact that nobody
were losing money.
Well, okay, all right, I'll give you that. But another reason why is because now they have the library of a lot of the stars that went over to them.
Correct.
I don't think it's right. I don't think it's a good idea to take ideas and run with them. I mean, let's put it this way. Hold on. Can you give me a second here, please, folks?
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I don't understand where you're getting at, but okay.
I tell you what I'm getting at. WWE has their own ideas, okay? They have, like you said, Money in the Bank, Hell in a Cell, TLC. Okay, they have those. But here's my question. If they have such great ideas, right? They have such great ideas, why do they have to fish in the old bowl to bring back stuff? Why?
Because you still have to keep yourself fresh sometimes. And like I said, there's still people who are clamoring for stuff, nostalgia stuff, so they bring it back now and then. They don't shove it down our throats or anything like that. All right, but they still bring back some stuff. I mean, it's a big deal. NFL and XFL first run around. Do you understand when XFL went out of business the first time around? NFL adopted their camera angles. Like, I don't understand what you're saying.
That way, the reason why XFL went out of business the first time around was
I didn't say why they went out of business. I said NFL took some stuff from the XFL, and they didn't even own the product. You made it seem like WWE was wrong for even buying WCW. It was a steal. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they got the tapes and then they're able to market it. That's smart business. Any business guy would do that. Vince, Jay just said you were a market owner, or a business owner, right? You would. If Subway went out of business, LaSpada, if Subway went out of business, you might be bringing some $5 footlongs. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll tell you why I wouldn't buy Subway out. I'll tell you why. Because Subway has nothing that I want. They have nothing that I want.
WWE was able to sell Sting DVD because they had WCW material. If they brought in Sting and they didn't have WCW material, Sting's DVD is not making money.
They also got NWO material. They also got Ric Flair material.
All that money.
How much money NWO was?
No, Nico, you're supposed to leave it on the table, right? You're supposed to leave it on the table because they can't come up with the ideas themselves. So they just got to leave it on the table.
Dude, they're still selling NWO shirts to this day.
Obviously,
NWO is still one of the most marketable products.
Listen. Here's one for you. Here's a great one for you.
Go ahead.
Do you honestly think NWO, when they brought him back, hauled out? Do you think they needed to bring him back and No Way Out? Do you think that actually helped WWE?
At that time, the ratings were subsiding a little bit. I mean, nowhere near today, but they were subsiding a little bit, and they gave him a small boost. Yeah,
I think if they didn't have that and they didn't bring Hogan into everything, I think they would have been fine.
Okay,
but great.
Vince.
But that WrestleMania would have been hyped up as much. People still to this day, and it's 18 years later, people still talk about Hogan.
That was a bullshit match.
I'm so confused. Like you're sort of contradicting yourself here because you say WWE steals ideas, and then you go back and say WWE has great ideas. Like I don't understand.
What did I say? Wait. Oh no, I was taking it from Chris, and Chris said they had their own idea. Then I said that they had to take ideas and bring them back because they ran out of their own fresh ideas. That's what I said. I said nothing about great ideas. They ran out of ideas. So what did they do? Oh, well, NXT, we can do NXT 19 and 14 and 10,000. Well, hey, let's bring in War Games. Hey, let's bring in
War
Halloween
Games is a great idea. Why would they haven't brought in Halloween Havoc? War Games is
First
a
of all,
great
they
idea.
ruined it. First of all, they ruined it because they took the idea and they switched
You did
it.
not just say that. You
Yeah,
did
they
not
did.
just say they ruined
They
War
should
Games.
accept the
War
top
Games
on it.
has been one of the best things that's happened to NXT. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? I am never going to agree with you on that one.
Wait, hold on. Take the idea and you change it. You take the idea and you take the cage and tear it off the top. Okay? The original
It's
idea
been
of
like
War
that
Games-
forever.
No, the
it had a
original
root.
War
It
Games.
used to have
Yeah,
a
I know
root.
the original War
And
Games
right now-
had
right
cages
now-
on top, but
Right now, Vince is being picky. That's what he's being picky. He's being, it's not that serious,
Exactly.
bro. It's not that serious.
It is
okay?
to
not
me.
that deep.
Vince,
It is to
go
me.
back and watch the old War Games. They were kind of shit. There was a couple
Yeah,
good ones.
these
but
new
I
War
don't-
Games are amazing.
They were
You
not
have-
shit.
You have
The
to.
one with like Sting and Dusty was good, but there was a couple that were kind of shit.
The one that
The one
was
where
NWO black
And the
and
one where
white.
Luger had like face paint on, that shit was
Yeah,
cheesy.
it was not good. It was.
Oh, come on. Listen, you're saying that because you got nothing else that you lose in NXT.
What? No, NXT has a lot. Okay, all right, Jay.
Here's
I
Vince
forgot.
today.
You were leading with questions. I don't know what happened. Go ahead.
They kept me down for 5 years.
Yeah, cry like a baby.
This is awesome. I mean,
yeah, this
I
is
can't
awesome.
entirely disagree with Vince. I see his opinion about it. I definitely see. I see his perspective on it. I see consultants' perspective on it. I see both sides of everything. Is Brock Lesnar retiring from WWE executive consultant or no?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about this question. Is Brock Lesnar retiring from WWE? No, he's taking a break due to various reasons. I guarantee he will be back. That is money he needs to make, that he's going to make, and that's money WWE is going to make.
Doesn't he make like $500,000 per?
Last year he made $9 million.
Yeah, he makes a ridiculous amount of money to show up
There we
once every week and a half of a fucking a
You know
month.
what I
That
have
I
to
won't complain about.
I
That I won't
always
complain about.
disagree. No, I will always disagree. One, because he's a special attraction. If I saw Brock Lesnar on my TV every single week, I would not be as interested in Brock Lesnar. That's one. Number two,
Why make him a champ?
he actually showed up. I didn't agree with his last two title runs. He actually he appeared last year more than people give him credit for. Way more than people give him credit for.
He did. That I will say, yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
did.
you know what happened? McMahon probably
Okay,
threw a bunch of
okay,
fucking money at him. That's the only reason why.
Money talks. I mean, you know what? He said it in Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast. One thing you gotta respect about Brock Lesnar, he holds no punches. He said it. This is a job to me. You pay me, I show up for work, and I do business. And he does.
Yeah, but then he cries. He obviously
Were you back there when he cried? Like,
he obviously cried. What WrestleMania 32? He cried and threw the belt away. Threw the belt at McMahon like a little
No,
baby.
that was 34. That was 34.
All right, 34. He threw the belt at
Because he got
McMahon.
pissed that he had to retain against Roman.
Oh God! Oh, let me throw my title at McMahon because that's gonna help.
because he's there to do a job. The job was changed.
You
He
do
wasn't
realize
clear
the
with
job was changed when he was in the ring. They were
Right.
getting ready to start the match, and they said,
It happens,
"Want the
man.
finish?"
I agree.
Brock
No,
is
I agree
winning.
with you. I completely agree with you. But that does
Shit
not
happens.
negate. That does not. I agree with you, Vince. That does not negate that he's a legend. He has done a lot for the business, and he sells tickets. That's it. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is. There's no arguing with him about that. I'm not a fan of some people who are in the Hall of Fame.
Plain and
But you can't take anything away from what they did to the business. Brock Lesnar is a star.
Plain and simple. Look how much hype Brock Lesnar brings when you just talk about him. So I agree with you guys. But let's move on from that because we could talk about Brock Lesnar forever. WWE right now is using Retribution almost like an art imitation of life, representing right across America. Do you guys think it's time that these guys amass themselves? And if you guys could take a guess at maybe one or two characters. Is it time for them to come out? Is the storyline getting stale to you? Do you like seeing these guys chasing down, he or she every Raw and SmackDown? What's going on with these guys? Is it time for them to unmask sooner than later? How do you feel about it? Technician, Retribution. Is it hot or not?
For Retribution, I definitely think it is a hot topic to talk about. I'm enjoying this whole Retribution thing. You know, they've been across Raw and SmackDown, but I saw some reports come out actually that they are going to be now Raw exclusive, which now more points towards the two people, one member in specific that teased he was going to Raw, and that member is Dominik Dijakovic. Because he posted, this was like a while ago. He posted an image of like a Raw steak or something. And then everyone was like, Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw. And then if you look at his Instagram now, his profile picture is black. Everything's black. There's no post. There's no anything. So that leads me to believe he is definitely one member of not Monday Night Raw, Retribution. The other member, I think, one of the other members is Chelsea Green, who was rumored to be called to the main roster after she broke up with Robert Stone. So I definitely think Retribution is red hot right now. So we'll have to see what happens tonight on Raw. So,
Nico, are you turning on your TV for Retribution?
You know what I
Sorry
hate?
to cut you off. I can tell you really like them.
I hate that we all read the dirt sheets and David's over here talking like, oh, the technician's over here talking like he knows, like, oh, it's Dominik.
That's it.
The only
Okay,
reason
but
any of us think it's Dominik Dijakovic and Chelsea Green is because that shit's been leaked on the internet. We haven't actually seen anyone
I'm just saying
that would really represent Chelsea Green. You saw the one tall dude that could potentially be Dijakovic, but if that's the two people, that's very underwhelming. And they've already been simmered down to the point they're only going to show up on Raw now. They're not going to be on SmackDown anymore, which I also know because I read the dirt sheets, which I'm almost sick of reading them because it's like almost not fun when you know what's going to happen. But the names that, you know, we've all heard the same stupid names, Ciampa, Gargano, Dijakovic, Chelsea Green, like it's not going to work for me unless a big name's in there. And it has to, and you know, they've had The Miz play a little game where he's come out late a couple times.
Yeah, even Ricochet's been brought up in there. So
Roman would be huge, but like over than that, it's just, and it's not going to be Roman. Other than that, it's just kind of stale already, and it's been stale the whole time, in my opinion.
I think the beginning was like better. Now they're watering it down.
The chainsaw was like jumping the shark. From there, it's been kind of cheesy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that they're gonna wait till Clash of Champions to unmask if they do unmask. So
yeah, you might be right. Vince, are they hot? Are they not hot? How do you feel about Retribution? I mean, I thought
Vince is over here looking like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. What was that? What are you doing with that?
Bootleg
I'm going to tell you this. What would
he looks like Elias.
What make me happier is if I found out that this is just a ploy from NXT to send a fire shot, just like they had in Survivor Series when it was yellow, red, and blue all trying to battle each other. Because honestly, this whole Retribution thing, it's so stale and it's so dumb. They have nothing else to go by but have these stupid goons come and throw a brick at the freaking window and run away like a little kitty. Then what do? They bring a chainsaw out and they sit there and cut up a ring because they're all pissed off. You know what I mean?
Like the cops haven't been called yet, by the way.
Like
why is no one calling the cop?
It's child's play stuff, okay? If these guys were as tough as they were, they wouldn't be running like little girls in a parking lot after they threw a brick at a fucking window. So to me, it's oh my God, we threw a brick. Let's run now. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Listen, they're not tough.
You don't.
It was like this. They threw a brick and everyone's like,
talented.
We threw a brick. We threw a brick. Like,
what'd you say?
Let me Go ahead, Jay.
You don't think they're talented performers, Vince?
No, I don't think they're talented performers because we don't know who they are. But
they are talented performers. But let me deep dive into this. I have to pick it back off what Nico said because I'm almost in complete agreement with him. We don't know who's going to be in Retribution. They're what you see right now are members that they take from NXT and the Performance Center, and they have them say, "Hey, go out there and do this." Y'all mentioned the brick thing about 4,000 times. That was 2 months ago. I actually think they've improved a little bit. But whoever is in Retribution right now may or may not be the final form. I've seen people change all the time. Granted, yes, I've been seeing Dominik Dijakovic for the past 3 weeks. They're definitely on Raw right now, which I think was stupid simply because when they were on Raw and SmackDown, most of the storylines seem to be pointing more to SmackDown, even though they started on Raw. Miz was mentioned. They seem to have a thing against Big E. You know, they attacked Braun Strowman one time. They came out when Vince was there, I think, one time. I don't remember.
Did you say Final Four? You said there's going to be 4 of them? I heard there's going to be 8 of them.
I said Final Four.
Oh, I heard there's going to be 8 of them.
That's a possibility. That's a dirt sheet. We have no idea. And even if that is the rumor right now, it's going to be 8. It could turn into 10. It could turn into 6. We know how WWE goes, right? Dominic might be in it, but just like Nico said, and I'm a huge fan of Dominic Dijakovic. I hope he's on Raw. I think he's going to do well. Chelsea Green, I'm a somewhat of a fan. I think she should have stayed in NXT. I think
Me too. She had big things coming for her, and they took
clearly. I don't know what big things, but clearly, let's Matt Cardona's good a bit. But clearly, she was okay. Clearly, she's been there a few times, but so is Mia Yim. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I remember the first few people that came out were all like 5'2". You know, they were all small. I didn't understand it. But what Nico says is if those people turn out to be Retribution, it's going to be very, very, very underwhelming. They need a big name in order to lead them. Miz was rumored. Miz would have been fine because I could think that would have been an interesting storyline.
Miz.
Are we going to do that? Another person was rumored was Roman Reigns. I never thought it was going to be Roman Reigns. But that would have not been underwhelming if it was Roman Reigns. But it shouldn't have been Roman Reigns. Somebody said it was going to be Seth Rollins' cult expanding. I would have been fine with that. That would have made some sense. I'm going to throw a name out there who I know is always in the dirt sheets, and I'm not a big fan of, but if it turns out it is him, it would be fire. And that man is CM Punk. If it is CM Punk, that would be the best way for him to come back, and that would be very entertaining. It will be very interesting. And this is coming from somebody who's not a big fan of CM Punk, but I will be tuning in to see where that is going. But if it is CM Punk, you don't have the unmasking. Somebody said Clash of Champions. I don't think it's going to be that soon. You don't have that unmasking until you have fans in the arena.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
Real reaction. You don't want the virtual fan reaction. You got it with Roman Reigns. That was good. But you need real fans, real emotion, not piped in from whatever they're feeding through the microphones, which I was told was really the fans from the people who were there, which I believe. But you need the real fans there. And for CM Punk, you need to wait a while. Milk it for a little while. Maybe that's why they only have it on Raw now. So they don't have it on Raw and SmackDown, and it'll go by a little bit faster. But it has to be somebody as big as CM Punk. Because the way they're going right now, if it's not anybody big and they unveil it and the leader is, and I hate to say it because I'm a fan, like I said, Dominic Dijakovic, it automatically tanks. It's not.
Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
We all saw SmackDown, and we all saw the girl with the long legs, and they showed her in the high heels.
Correct.
Now I'm already taking a limb out, and I'm going to tell you who I think it is. I think it's Chelsea Green, and the reason why I think it's Chelsea Green, and I think WWE's messing with people's heads, and what I mean by that is people every week are guessing who the people are. Okay, a couple of the people have actually slipped. And they found out who they were. One of them was a girl that had pink hair or something, and then purple hair. And then a week later, we saw him on NXT in the ring, so we knew who it was. So they're trying to shuffle the cards, and I feel like they're trying to make sure that we don't know who they are at the end. And I really do. I think Chelsea. I've seen a bunch of people. I've looked at a bunch of people, and I really do think Chelsea Green's going to SmackDown.
That's actually not a bad assessment. It could be Chelsea Green. It could be Vanessa Bourne. Somebody said Eva Marie because she was mentioned not too long ago. It could be quite a few people. But
the only person who thinks Chelsea Green sucks at wrestling. Like I think she's hot as the day is long, but I think in the ring she's like kind of garbage. I can't see her on SmackDown having a good match with Sasha Banks.
I won't say garbage, but is she on the level of Sasha Banks or Bayley or Shayna Baszler?
Even Lacey Evans, her and Lacey having a good match. I don't see it.
I want to piss off Chris right now. You know who's a lot better than Chelsea Green wrestling?
Shotzi
Blackheart is a lot better.
I think he would agree with that.
I agree.
I think he would agree with that.
He's better on the mic.
I think he would agree with that.
Might be better in-ring talent, but I can tell you two things. One, neither Shotzi or Chelsea Green's career is going anywhere. That's one. And number two, if one of them's career does go somewhere, my money is actually on Chelsea Green.
Me too.
All right. Well, I mean, you guys
Awesome,
can say
awesome.
that though. You guys can say that though, but can you also can you tell me that we all thought the Riot Squad was going to freaking move up, that they were going to be stars, and look at them now, they're a bunch of trash.
Jobbers.
I did not
not
think
like
You're
how
right.
I-
They've developed them.
I did not think the Riot Squad was going to be anything in the WWE on the main roster. They did better than I thought they would be. I think Ruby Riot is still the talent, but right now she's on the back burner, and that's what she's going to be because the Raw, especially, actually both of them, Raw and SmackDown's women's division is stacked. Is way too stacked.
I'm really disappointed that we're not going to talk about AEW.
Guys, I
was just gonna say we had like the biggest AEW pay-per-view of yesterday or 2 days ago, and we're sitting here talking about fucking Retribution. Like, doesn't make
Guys,
much
I
sense.
mean, I was gonna bring that up. I mean, I wanted to bring up FTR. Honestly, I have
Oh God, I want to leave now.
One of them
I want to
is-
leave now. I want to leave now. Oh my God.
Nah, David.
Never bring them
FT
up.
no,
Never bring them
David,
up.
guys,
David, go
Let's
ahead.
not
Hear
talk
me out.
about FTR.
hear me out.
Go ahead, David.
To
Go ahead,
me
David.
No, I know.
personally, FTR has the best finisher move tag team in the entire world, and
Okay,
they
argue.
fight in old style, kind of like you would think Hulk Hogan's coming out, and also these guys, their finisher comes out of nowhere. I understand they're a little slow, but I love their chemistry together as a tag team. Why are fans thinking these guys are so dull? I like
Because
FTR.
they are
Because
dull.
they are
What is it
dull.
about these guys?
Bro,
They suck,
I was
dude.
sitting next to you
that-
on the couch for All Out Saturday night. You literally said this match is so boring. You agree with me that the match was boring. FTR, I honestly have. I'm sorry, I'm getting so upset, but I have no idea what people see in
I
FTR.
don't understand your passion.
I have no
said,
idea what
I
people
said
see
the match should be
in
one of the
FTR.
first matches.
They're the most boring tag team I've ever watched in the history of wrestling.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
They're the most underrated tag team in professional wrestling right now.
Oh my
Underrated.
God, I couldn't
Hey.
disagree more. But you know what? That's fine.
How they're
That's your
underrated?
opinion.
I said
That's your
they
opinion.
misplaced the match.
Team champion.
You have an opinion. I
No.
have an opinion.
Let's put it this
How
way.
are they underrated? They're the
I'll tell you why.
AEW World
I'll
Tag
tell
Team
you why.
champions. Go ahead.
Because Vince was half a fag, and he got rid of the motherfuckers when he shouldn't have, because he
Shut up.
lost gold talent and 2 tag teams. You want to tell 2? The Good Brothers? He definitely lost them because they were great. And FTR, he doesn't know it now, but he will later. He will sit there in his chair and he'll laugh when he watches AEW, if he didn't, and say, hey, listen, I've lost 2 of the biggest tag teams that will ever be.
Okay, but wait.
I can
But
guarantee
you do
that
realize-
is not true. All right,
Yeah,
let's be
exactly.
real.
That's not true. And here's why.
FTR is a former 3-time tag team champions.
Yeah,
3
look what
times.
they did to him. Nothing.
And you know what? You know exactly. That's not WWE's fault.
Yes,
Nobody
it is.
Remember,
What are you
no,
talking about? It's not their fault.
they're not charismatic.
Oh,
They're decent in the ring, but they're not charismatic. I hate to tell you this, bro. Good Brothers been That's what Vince told the Good Brothers. Because
No.
the Good Brothers were in the WWE for 4 years, right? And you know what they did? They won the tag team titles 3 or 4 times. And you know how many people remember that? Hardly anybody. You know why?
Yeah.
Because the only thing they really were Finn Balor and AJ Styles jockstrap holders. That's all they were.
I'm
They
not
were
going to sit here and disagree with you, but
Then
they
what are you
still
talking about?
they still
They still have the
work
Street
in the ring.
Profits are doing very, very well.
Hey, and David, I don't think you're watching the same All Out on Saturday as I was, because that match with them and you know who made that match stale? You know who made that match stale? Fucking Kenny Omega and Hangman Page.
What
They
is
made
people
stale.
hatred against Kenny Omega? Why is
Because
that always
they're
Kenny
not
Omega's
tag
fault?
Team material. They're
Let's talk about, if you want to talk about
Yeah, and I
AEW,
agree that they were.
I have a question, Jay. Can I hijack your show? Thank you. I have a question. Here's my question. What do you think about the fact that all the AEW single champions for the males are all former WWE wrestlers?
for the males.
For the males, yes. Dean
FTR,
Ambrose,
John
Dean Ambrose, The
Moxley.
Revival, and Luke Harper.
Yeah, Brody.
I mean, nothing I can say about it. I look
Because
like
they
this.
were misused.
They were way misused. Way misused.
They were misused. They were put on the shelf. They were put on the shelf like an old book.
not.
I
Nico,
think they're actually
Nico.
guaranteed championships with AEW. I think crossing over, they're like FTR, John Moxley, they were all guaranteed champions, and this is their shot. Because I'm sorry, I don't agree. FTR. I don't even think FTR is one of the top 3 tag teams in their own division.
Thank
I really
you.
don't.
Thank you.
And I even think
I
the
don't-
Young Bucks are better than FTR, and I can't stand the
Way
Young Bucks.
better.
And the Young Bucks. I can't
Young Bucks had a
stand.
horrible
You don't
match.
like their
on-
But
chemistry?
they're better than FTR, in my
No
opinion.
way.
They're way
No
better than-
way.
Why are you saying Vincent?
No
You're gonna
way.
tell me that
We're
that
never going
the
to
Young
agree on
Bucks,
any of this shit.
the Young
Man,
Bucks and the Lucha
FTR
Bros had an
great tag team.
extraordinary match.
at Double or Nothing.
No,
at the
I didn't
debut
say
Double
they had
or Nothing.
extraordinary.
You really think FTR can do the same thing? No.
I never said
All
they
right,
had
I have
an
another
extraordinary
question. After Revival, we don't want to talk about him. John Moxley won his match at All Out pay-per-view this past Sunday against MJF. Do you think if they were going to give a championship to an AEW original, I'll say, an AEW original should have been MJF, and should it have been this past Sunday at All Out?
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think an opportunity was missed there for them because they should have put the strap on him, and the ratings as far as Twitter impressions and talking about
fucking out the roof.
would have went through the roof. Instead of it, Moxley retains, and now we're talking about Monday Night Raw that's going to start. Oh, it's already started, by the way. We need to wrap this shit up.
Keith Lee and Randy Orton having a rematch at Payback.
I'm watching this right now. Randy Orton is in the ring cutting a promo. So.
Turn it on. Let's watch it live. Let's see
All
if
right,
they.
all right.
Let's not do that because we will get flags for comment.
Hold on, wait. Hold on.
I have
hold on.
one.
What did you
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vince. Go ahead, Vince.
think about the match? Did you think that MJF should have won it, or do you think Moxley had enough to retain it? Because I really do think that Moxley had the advantage, but then I also think that I have a feeling that MJF is going to come out on Wednesday and he's going to pull some shenanigans.
Yeah, because of what happened.
let me tell you what
because
the
the
deal is.
referee was distracted. He had the paradigm shift, and that was
Doesn't
illegal.
matter.
So
Doesn't matter. Let
technically,
me tell
I
you
think
what the deal
something
is.
big is going to happen. on Wednesday.
AEW did what WWE used to do. They stole an idea from WWE. Ooh, okay, so here's what they did. Their go home show, MJF stood tall in the ring against Dean Ambrose. Back old school WWE, when that happens, you knew who was going to win the match. Whoever had their ass on the mat is going to win the match.
I don't
When
know.
that-
What do you mean?
Okay, so normally before a pay-per-view back in the old school WWE days in the Attitude Era, when Stone Cold Steve Austin, let's say The Undertaker, were having a pay-per-view match on Sunday, Undertaker will always go over on Stone Cold Steve Austin on that Monday Night Raw beforehand. He will find some way to look like he's going to take the title on Sunday. 9 times out of 10 when that happened, Stone Cold was going to win. You always had to make him look weak going into like he's going to lose the championship. This past Wednesday, MJF did the same scenario pretty much with John Moxley. I knew automatically John Moxley was going to win. Number two clue what's going to happen. That's what I was trying to explain to David. When Lance Archer won that guaranteed title,
That was it.
you knew Lance Archer is going to go after John Moxley. Lance Archer and MJF is not a feud nobody's going to want to see. Okay? So if MJF is going to lose, okay, if MJF is going to lose, he can come back at a later date, but it's not going to be immediately. They wanted him to look strong, so later down the line, he can build up and possibly take the title off of John Moxley. That is what the deal is. That's what they're trying to do. But I never thought he was going to win. They had him go out there. They had him do a really good job to make him a credible person to help build him up. They try to put him over without having him go over. And they somewhat succeeded in that. So I'm interested to see what's next for MJF, who's got himself in better shape, because he's a lot bigger than he was when I first started discovering him in MLW. He's gotten better on the mic, and he was good then.
But I don't think him
He
and Archer.
and Orange Cassidy are the people they're going to really push strong in the next 6 months.
And Orange Cassidy really can wrestle. I don't
They're
think
pushing Orange Cassidy to the moon, bro. When you
He's-
have him,
Yeah, they are. They really are.
you're pushing him to the moon, bro.
he can't wrestle.
Drew McIntyre's back.
Pushing him, yeah, they say that. Pushing him to
He's
the
not
moon.
bad.
It's on the
He's
AEW.
not bad.
Oh God.
No, I said
He's not
back.
bad.
He's back.
I knew that.
After watching him,
They announced
after
it.
watching
I didn't
Orange
say he was
Cassidy,
bad.
let's go into the final question I have for you. It's a double-parted question, kind of correlates.
If it's
It does
Shotzi
correlate.
Blackheart, I'm leaving.
Dominic, do you guys see? You guys think he's a future star? And is Rey Mysterio in your top 10? Basically, the greatest lucha libre wrestler Do you think he's in the top 10 wrestlers of all time? I don't want to hear your list. I just want to hear Rey Mysterio. Vince, do you think Dominic is a future star, and is Rey Mysterio in your top 10?
Dude, hold on. You're a fanboy. Let me just correct. Is Rey Mysterio a one-time champion? Is he a one-time champion? Has he won it twice?
Yes.
Dude, I mean, like, come on, dude. Top 10. He's won the belt one time. He's a 3-time world champion.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
How many times has he won the WWE?
I know you're not about to
World
sit
title?
here and tell me that
He's
Rey
a
Mysterio isn't a
WWE
Lincoln.
top 10.
I know you're not about to do that shit, bro.
He's not a top 10 in my
You're
book.
not about
No.
to.
He's not a top 10.
You did not just say that. You
Yeah,
did not
bro,
just
I
say
did.
that.
I really did. He's not top 10 in my book.
Yes,
Anywhere
he
close.
is. He is one of the
First of all,
best of all time.
Nico, listen to what Nico said. He's not a top 10 in my book. You can't sit
Right.
here and tell him, yes, he is. You didn't write that book. Nico wrote that
Right.
book. Okay?
In my book, he's not even close. But I'm older than you, dude. I've
Yes,
seen
he
a lot
is.
more wrestling than you've seen. No offense.
Nico, you can't sit here and tell me that you didn't put Rey Mysterio in your top 10. You can't tell me that. Well, guess
his
what,
son a
David?
fu-
I
his son a
agree.
future
This is
star,
what started the
Nico?
conversation. I also
How
agree
many?
with
But let me just get the
He's
numbers.
not
How many
top 10.
times is he a WWE World Heavyweight Champion? 0 or 1? No, he won the world.
No,
No, he won the big gold
He won the world title twice and the WWE title once.
one time. Okay, so he's a one-time WWE
Right.
World Heavyweight Champion. Okay, go ahead. Like, let me just ask this: would you put Randy Orton above him or below him? David, technician, you put Orton below or above Mysterio?
Well, in that case, I put Orton above.
Okay, I'm just asking.
But if
he's-
we're talking about luchadors of all time, top 10 of all time, Rey Mysterio is at the top
Oh,
of my
well,
list.
of course he's the number one luchador of all time. I don't
I
think
thought, I thought you were saying like, are you
I
saying
wouldn't say number
superstars in general of all time?
Of course he's a top 10 luchador. Give me a fucking break.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, okay, no, that makes more sense now because I thought you were saying that he wasn't in the top 10 for greatest luchadors of all time. Now, if you're talking overall, like
I'm not
greatest
sure I
superstars
can
of all
name 10
time,
luchadut bro.
You know what I put over? Hey, you know what I put
Jesus
over?
Christ, 10
Rey Mysterio?
luchadors?
Ew.
Ultimo Dragon.
Oh gosh, somebody else said that crap last night.
Who the hell is that?
So
Who's Ultimo
overrated.
Dragon?
You don't want to know. He's so overrated.
Oh my
he's
God.
not that
Ultimo
good.
Dragon had like 14 belts at one time, though, didn't he?
That fucking
crazy
dude
shit.
is the man, dude. He's the
Yeah.
fucking man.
Yeah, but if you really pay attention, I mean, he can do a go around, and that's about it. He wasn't all that good. Like
Oh,
he's
stop it. He was good. You're fucking high.
You know what? If he's so good, why doesn't anybody ever really mention him? They just liked his name and his outfit. That was it.
Hold on. As you say that, David goes, "Who is that?"
Because
Hey,
they like his
David's
name.
20, though, bro. He doesn't know Ultimo Dragon is. That shit was in the
Let me
80s
just
and
answer.
90s.
Let me answer.
Exactly.
Let me
How the
answer
fuck
your
am I supposed to
question, Jay. Do I think what's his name? Dominic
Mysterio.
Dominic.
is going to be a
You didn't ask that question so long ago.
hold on, real quick. No, I don't. I'll tell you why. Because I think he's hurt bound all the time, and I think he's going to really hurt himself.
No, Dominic. Vince, his
Dominic
son.
Dijakovic.
Yeah, he's
No,
talking about
Dominic
No,
Mysterio.
Dominic, his son. No, I think his son's horrible.
What?
Yeah, I
He's
think
really
horrible.
not that bad, bro.
He's a future
He
star?
really is not that bad.
He's not a future star. No, he's not a future.
Dominic.
No.
Incorrect.
Dominic is not a future star. I
Nope.
have to.
I have to disagree.
Well,
I have to disagree too.
actually, no, let me not disagree with you. Let me say the jury's still out. I do believe he's a lot better than people gave him credit for. A future star might be a bit of a stretch right now, but I do think that for the next 6 months to a year, it's going to be very crucial to the future of one Dominic Mysterio. But get out of the shot. This is not UPR.
Can I just tell you? I think when he wrestled in both matches, I think he overestimated himself, and I think he questioned himself in all the moves. I think he stopped, thought about it, and then did it, which is not a good. Is not a good way to wrestle. He thought about his
You
move a couple
are
times.
the Dave Meltzer of Behind the Ropes Media.
I'm
just
sorry.
know that
It's the truth.
you are definitely the Dave Meltzer.
I'm
We gotta
sorry.
wrap
It's
this up.
true.
David, we need you over here to prepare for the show. Jay, do you have any other questions? Do you want to possibly ask us who's the top tag team of all time and why
No.
not FTR? What do
It
you
was here, you guys. It was a pleasure spending some time on Labor Day with you guys, man.
Yeah, Memorial
Appreciate
Day.
the time, and this is Behind the Rope.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having me on, guys.
it got a little hot in here. It's always a pleasure to.
Can I offer a compliment?
you know,
Can I offer a compliment? Vincent,
Hey,
you are wearing the best,
Vinny!
you are wearing the best scarf / beach towel I've ever seen in my life. You want to show that off? It's a great.
Hey, that's a
Oh,
scarf.
you know what? No, end the
It's a
show.
scarf.
End the show. I don't want to.
No,
talk
no,
about
it's a
that.
scarf. Can
No,
you
we
show
don't need to
why
talk about
that
the
scarf
stupid
is
Eagles.
good?
We
That
don't need to
scarf
talk
is
about the
great.
stupid Philadelphia Eagles.
He's looking like MJF. It looks great. It looks great.
You know why? Because there's a money team that he
It was
has
a-
around his
Hey,
neck.
you know
You
what?
want one
Hey,
Super Bowl?
you know what?
One.
Hold on, real quick before we end this. You know what? On this week when I go to Philadelphia, I'm going to run those Rocky steps with my MJF scarf, and I'm going to
Yo,
get some
chill out.
shots, and I'm going to go. Yo, Adrian, I did it.
Let's wrap this up.
All right, guys. Till next
Let's
week.
go.
It's been a pleasure, guys.
All right.
It's been a pleasure working with you guys tonight, and we'll definitely have another show next week. See you guys later. Behind the Ropes Media.